What's the confusion, Arnav?
So the Realme GT60 and the Note 4 are practically the same phones.
Right.
The POCO F6 is equally powerful.
Okay.
I'm confused on which one should I buy for my cousin.
Let the expert do the testing. If, like Arnav, you're also confused about which one of these three phones should you consider under rupees 30,000, well, you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Arshad. You're watching Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Now, considering these are performance-oriented phones under 30,000 rupees, we should talk about that first. So, the Realme GT60 and the OnePlus Nord 4 come with the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3, which performs like a Snapdragon 8 series chip. And of course, the POCO F6 comes with Snapdragon 8s Gen 3, which is definitely more powerful than the 7 Plus Gen 3. Essentially, what you get are higher clock speeds, a more powerful GPU with ray tracing, and a better modem. And you know what? The synthetic benchmarks that we ran are proof of the fact that the 8s Gen 3 is better than the 7 Plus Gen 3. Because the POCO F6 scored higher in Antutu, it scored higher in Geekbench, and you know what, the CPU didn't throttle much either. In fact, we got the best CPU stability of all the three phones. However, when you talk about the GPU stability, when we ran the 3D Mark Wildlife stress test, the Nord 4 had better stability than the other two. Having said that, the POCO F6 definitely has a more powerful GPU, so it's pushing more frames as well. Which, by the way, is true because in our Genshin Impact test, where we ran the game at highest graphics at 60 frames per second and played for 30 minutes, we actually got the best average FPS on POCO, no doubt. Now, while that was the case, Nord is the only phone among the three that offers 90 FPS in BGMI. I think that's just an optimization issue, but something you need to know. Now, when we were stress testing these devices, the good thing is none of these got uncomfortably hot. They ran warm, but that's normal. That's par for the course when you're gaming. Now, considering Nord has an aluminum body, it does get hot sooner, but it also does get cold sooner as well. So yeah, that's the nature of the material. Now, apart from the chip itself, you get UFS 4.0 storage and LPDDR5X RAM type on all the three phones, except for the base variant of the Realme GT60 and the OnePlus Nord 4, you get 128GB, and that is UFS 3.1. Now, we also ran our standard tests on Airtel and Jio, and all the three performed admirably well. 5G performance was good, and so was the call quality. The earpiece is actually good on all the three. And that apart, you also get support for ample 5G bands, you get support for Wi-Fi 6, NFC, everything's there. The displays on all the three devices are 1.5K resolution and offer a peak refresh rate of 120Hz as well. Of course, OnePlus and POCO have a flat AMOLED panel where Realme has opted for a curved one. And of course, that brings us to the fundamental discussion of whether you like flat panels or curved panels, but that's just the personal choice anyway. Now, Realme's advantage is that it supports LTPO technology, so you get refresh rate of 1 to 120Hz, which makes it definitely better because it should ideally give you better battery performance. But there's a twist to that, and I'll talk about that in the battery section of the video. POCO doesn't have any LTPO tech. OnePlus does have variable refresh rate though. The GT60's other advantage is that it uses Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. POCO F6 uses Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, which is pretty good too, whereas the Nord 4, nothing. Now, when you talk about the brightness, again, Realme comes out on top. The GT60's display is brighter indoors and outdoors compared to the competition. The Nord 4 comes in second and POCO comes in last. And when you're watching HDR content and if you're looking at color tuning, again, GT60's color tuning is very close to neutral. POCO's display is extremely vibrant, where OnePlus is somewhere in between the two. But one advantage on the POCO F6 is that you get support for Dolby Vision on Netflix right out of the box, which is something that is true for most POCO and Xiaomi phones across price ranges. As for OnePlus and Realme, you get HDR video playback on both the phones on YouTube. By the way, OnePlus doesn't offer HDR video playback on Netflix, but Realme recently got an update for Netflix HDR, which is a good thing. Now, since these are AMOLED panels, all of them have in-display fingerprint scanners, and even the position is largely similar on all the three, and they unlock really fast as well, nothing to separate the three. Now, talking about haptic feedback, of course, OnePlus has O haptics, so the haptic feedback is absolutely tight, it's crisp, it's very, very good. Second would be Realme. It also has O haptics, but it's not as good as OnePlus. And finally, POCO. POCO is loose and not very tight in terms of vibration feedback. Now, none of these phones come with a headphone jack, but you can connect an external DAC. We tried it out. It works, no problem. And if you have a Bluetooth product with support for LHDC or LDAC codec with high-res audio, then all the three will support it. Don't worry. Now, the difference in battery performance is very evident on all the three phones. On one hand, quite literally, we have overachievers like the OnePlus Nord 4, which is basically like a battery monster. So the 5500 mAh battery inside this phone can easily give you 8 to 9 hours of screen on time on moderate usage, like easily. Now, Realme, on the other hand, again, quite literally, doesn't offer the same battery life despite having the same internals, the same 5500 mAh battery, and despite using an LTPO display. What does this indicate? That optimization matters. And you will realize why I'm saying this even more when I start talking about the cameras on these phones. Regardless, the Realme GT60 will give you about 6 hours of screen on time, slightly higher if you're slightly prudent with it. But POCO only gives you about 5 hours of screen on time. POCO is not the best battery performer in this price range. And this could also boil down to the fact that Realme and OnePlus have a 5500 mAh battery where POCO has a 5000 mAh unit. Now, POCO is also the slowest charging of the three. I'll come to that. But OnePlus actually, charges from 0 to 100 in about 28 minutes with the 100-watt charger. And Realme takes about 22 to 25 minutes depending on, the speeds itself using the 120-watt charger inside the box. As for POCO, you get a 120-watt charger inside the box, but it charges at 90-watt speeds and it takes about 40 to 45 minutes for a full charge. Alright, now let's talk about the cameras on these three phones, which are meant to be performance-oriented, but they do also offer decent camera performance. So the primary camera on the Realme and OnePlus, considering they come out from the same BBK factory, yes, I keep saying that over and over again because the specs are very similar, guys. Well, both of these actually have the same 50MP Sony LYT600 sensor, whereas POCO uses the IMX882, which is also 50MP sensor and which is basically a rebranded LYT600 or the other way around. And you also get an 8MP ultra-wide on all the three phones. You get a 32MP selfie camera on Realme, which is the highest resolution one. You get a 16MP unit on the OnePlus and 20MP on POCO. Now, OnePlus and Realme capture more details than the POCO F6. Now, POCO's cameras are actually not that great in detailed retrieval when you look at the 100% crop. And even between OnePlus and Realme, I think Realme does it slightly better. Now, colors, interestingly, were close to accurate on Realme. OnePlus is slightly boosted, but very social media ready and pleasant to look at. POCO boosts everything, especially the color red, which is turned pink. Now, HDR tuning is very well done on OnePlus. You get very good highlight control and shadow details as well. Now, the GT60's shadows might seem crushed, but it looks very dynamic. It's a stylistic input that I kind of actually prefer because it gives you like that whole shadow and, highlight look. And as for POCO and POCO's HDR performance, it's not very good. Now, the ultra-wide angle camera on the Nord 4 captures more details than the GT60 and finally the POCO F6. When it comes to portrait shots, it's a close call between the GT60 and the OnePlus Nord 4. Both have great edge detection, but Realme has a better neutral skin tone. That's something that Realme has done well with their camera tuning this year, whether it's the 12 Pro series, whether it's the GT60 series, it's all very good. POCO, on the other hand, completely messes up the skin tones. Now, when it comes to low-light images, again, the Realme GT60 takes the win. As you can see from the images here, the details in the darker regions around the fence are clearly visible as opposed to OnePlus and POCO. But OnePlus does it slightly better than POCO. Selfies, on the other hand, is a close call between Realme GT60 and the POCO F6. Both take great selfies in daylight situations where OnePlus sort of underexposes a bit. And even in low light, OnePlus messes up the selfies where Realme and POCO do it better. However, in portrait selfies, I feel that OnePlus redeems itself by doing a very good portrait shot here. Actually, OnePlus and Realme are better than POCO here. Now, when it comes to selfie videos, Realme is better than the other two primarily because you get higher resolution, you get 4K 30fps video recording option. POCO can do 1080p 60 where OnePlus does only 1080p 30. Now, when you're talking about the main primary camera's video recording jobs, it is a very interesting observation that we made. What POCO does is that it records higher bitrate video, so you get higher file sizes as well, and therefore you get sharper details. But POCO's colors are completely off. The HDR performance is not too great either. That's where OnePlus and Realme's video recording seems better. Also, we noticed something that POCO was actually dropping frames where OnePlus and Realme weren't. So when you look at overall camera performance, I will put Realme on top, OnePlus second, POCO of course last. Now, on the software front, all the three phones run on Android 14 with their own custom version of operating system on top of it. Realme and POCO promise 3 years of software updates and 4 years of security updates, where OnePlus promises 4+6, which is good, which is better than these two for sure. But just like Realme and Oppo, OnePlus has also been slowly moving over to the dark side. Like in my review video, I clearly mentioned about OnePlus having bloatware apps. But that's not it. Even in global search, sometimes you get app suggestions when you don't want to. Now, when it comes to animations and the way they're tuned, OnePlus has the smoothest, fastest animations of the three. It is very premium. It's not like Realme and POCO are slow and clunky. They're also pretty smooth. It's just that OnePlus does it better. And in terms of software features, I think HyperOS does it better because you get a ton of useful features, including some AI stuff. For example, you can remove objects from the picture, you get image expansion, you also get that sky changing, algorithm, which actually Xiaomi and Redmi introduced first. I also like OnePlus's software features because you get stuff like file dock. You also do get a lot of AI features now. For example, there's AI note summary and that auto pixelate feature, which I actually like a lot. Plus you get Magic Eraser, which works exceptionally well on OnePlus. Now Realme GT60 has promised a lot of AI features, but none of them are here yet. They're all coming really soon, so we'll have to wait for that. So overall, if you look at it, I think in terms of software experience between these three phones, OnePlus wins for me. And I think HyperOS and Realme UI are probably on par. Now I saved the design conversation for the end because design like art is subjective. So you might not like Jum Barabar Jum, but I do, because genuinely that movie was way ahead of its time. Anyway, in my opinion, the POCO F6 looks the blandest of the lot. Realme does try to spruce things up by giving a mirror finish to a plastic material. It does look good, but it attracts a lot of fingerprints and it scratches up easily too. And therefore, the aluminum and glass dual tone design of the OnePlus Nord 4 is definitely the best looker in my opinion. A, because it's aluminum and glass and it's always looked good. The Pixel 3 also looked good. And B, because it tickles my nostalgia. It's a comeback for aluminum. Now, in terms of in-hand feel and comfort, POCO is the best because it's also the lightest of the three. OnePlus, on the other hand, is like that reassuring feel of cold metal on your hand. It does feel very good when you hold it. Now, while Realme does look premium, it's wider than the other two and therefore it can get uncomfortable to hold sometimes and feels larger than it should actually feel. Now, with respect to ports, none of these phones offer USB 3.1 speeds. All three are USB 2.0. And Realme and OnePlus, since they're basically from the same BBK factory, they get IP65 rating, where POCO F6 has IP64. Now, all the three also do offer infrared blasters, which is damn good, but OnePlus has one distinctive advantage. And yes, it's the alert slider. And it's one of the best, most tactile feeling alert slider that I've used on a OnePlus phone in a long time. So Arnab, I think I've solved your problem for the cousin and also for the audience out there. If he wants a phone with great cameras and a good design, then the Realme GT60 would be a good option. And if he wants a phone purely for performance, then the POCO F6 will be perfect. Now, if he wants a phone that's a little more balanced, has great battery life, has decent camera, has decent performance, then of course he can't go wrong with the OnePlus Nord 4. I think that solves the problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly clear for now, but there's one thing.
What?
It's not a he, it's a she.
Oh, oops.